Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chamber of Games. It's Leviathan's video series where we take a look at brand new games and show off some gameplay and give some witty commentary as always. I am your fantastic host and player right now, Eric Watson. I'm the PC editor over at Leviathan, and this is the PC version of Double Dragon Neon. This is a remake, reboot, whatever, of an old classic beat 'em up from the early original Nintendo Entertainment System. It came out for PlayStation Network and XBLA, I believe, in 2012, and has finally come to the PC here in 2014. And I've been enjoying the hell out of this game. It's been a lot of fun. It's a really crazy reboot with some way upgraded graphics. And if you can't hear right now, a completely rocking soundtrack, just absolutely fantastic. They really took the theme of the kind of campy late 80s, early 90s, very Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle kind of vibe. Took that and just ran with it, and it's all kinds of fun, funny, and pretty damn enjoyable. So let's jump in and show off some gameplay of Double Dragon Neon. I am going to be playing with a controller, Xbox 360 controller. Because unfortunately, like a lot of beat 'em ups, brawlers, fighting games, trying to play with a keyboard is just miserable. I mean, it's just abysmal. And I don't want to fault the game itself too much for that, because I just don't know how you even try to make keyboard controls work for this style or genre of game. But controller works just fine, thankfully. In fact, as the time of this recording, I've actually completed the game. And so we can kind of show whatever level we want. Let's see. It does have two-player, which is a huge, kind of a mainstay of beat 'em ups in general, brawlers. Is the cooperative play, and it just makes the game so much more fun. And there's mechanics that are specifically designed for having two players. You can high-five each other, which can do different things like splitting your health bars or boosting each other's damage up and that kind of thing. So it's a lot of fun with two players. I'm actually flying solo right now, so alas, just the one-player mode. We'll do normal. I don't need to get my ass kicked for the purpose of this playthrough. But if you beat the game, it does unlock progressively more difficulties. Although at that point, my enjoyment of the brawler wears thin. I'm not very hardcore when it comes to these kind of games. And I find that if you can just kind of punch and kick your way through a swath of destruction and have fun doing it, then that's kind of all I want out of this. I don't really need to be hardcore about the dodging and all the intricate mechanics of it. Although there are some impressive mechanics, certainly more than back in the day. And you can see here, this is the little overland map, which has a pretty linear path you follow to the insane journey you take. But I love it. It's got the old little 8-bit sprite, which is this right here. How he animates is exactly how the original game played. And I played the original game back in the day, and I owned Double Dragon 2: The Revenge, and played the shit out of that game. It was fantastic for two-player cooperative play. Holy crap! You were just punching and kicking your way through a bunch of street punks, and that was a good time. I think we're gonna show. Let's just do the countryside. To set it up real briefly, the storyline is your girlfriend gets literally just sucker punched and carried off, and then the bros just like have to save the day. So damsel in distress, classic trope, which they play with a little bit at the end, I guess, when you have kind of a bonus boss battle, and they kind of retread a few things, but also make some stuff really fun. At some point, you get blown up into the spaceship. Dojo turned spaceship and have to fight your way back down out of space. There's a really funny moment where they go into an airlock and they're like, oh no, we're in space, and they just hold their breath through the whole level. That's the kind of jokes that you get. And it's fully 3D, with like giant characters and some really nice looking animations.
Nothing like walking the streets of Earth.
Back to Earth, so obviously crash landed. This is the giant dojo spaceship. Oh no, but he fell to Earth. two buttons for fighting. There's a light attack and a heavy attack button, which is pretty standard. You can also pick up items, like, you know, golden axe in a lot of those games. And either throw them, you can grapple people. The biggest thing that this adds, I'm gonna stab the shit out of this lamppost, are equipable songs. And you can kind of hear, when you actually go to each one, it actually does play a song, which is crazy cool. But these are all different abilities that you can use that replace your, for controller purposes, the RB. You can equip, you have to actually gather them, and you can see the little number in the upper right of the, on the bottom there, that shows you what kind of level you're at, how many you've actually gotten. They're just random kind of loot drops off enemies, which kind of gives you incentive to actually go back and play previous levels just to get stronger, and then you can upgrade each song. Originally, each one can only go up to 10. You can upgrade it up to 20. At the Tapesmith, of course, because they're all mixtapes that you actually pick up. So these are active abilities you can grab. I like Lightning because it's super fast and homes it on enemies. There's some other impressive ones I can show off. And then stances are actually, you're equipping like your passive loadout. So you can just have a balanced stat bonuses, focusing defense, focusing attack, become stronger if you can hit enemies in a row. Just a lot of different play styles, which is kind of nifty, and you can really get hardcore into it. The one that I went with and never looked back, regaining health with each hit. Always good. Keep me at max health as much as I can. Level that sucker up. Pretty much never switch off that. So that's the green number that you'll see coming up. It introduces new enemies throughout, so you're not always just fighting the same basic dudes. Dudettes. Alright, that's the lightning in action. I don't even have to face him, just automatically does it. There's a mixtape right there, just collected that one. So originally, when you're first going through, you're getting all those tapes for the first time. You're getting a lot of new abilities, which is cool. And then after you've actually unlocked them all, you just level them up and they get stronger. My absorb is so strong right now that even if people do damage to me, you can see my health bar goes up pretty quick after that. And then the little synapse-looking thing under the health bar is my, I guess, mana, energy, whatever you want to call it. That's how many times I can use my special ability. Boomerang. Yeah. You can also run, holding down right trigger, just to haul ass, which lets you slide. Except I have weapon equipped, so I can't slide there. And you can dodge, which is tricky. If you can actually, if you can time it, you'll see I can glow, and that means I'll actually get double damage by dodging. But it's pretty hard, and in later stages of the game, it gets really hard, especially if you're surrounded by enemies, to try and just keep dodging people.
They're not dead yet?
That is the voice of Skullmageddon. Probably my favorite part of this game is the hilarious Skeletor-esque villain that is very, very funny. Just absolutely enjoyable. Kind of like the Monarch of Metro Brothers, where he just like berates you, and just his voice is hysterical. Just dropping guys off. This part reminds me of Metal Slug, actually, this whole level. Which this is about, I want to say a little less than halfway through the game. It's not a super lengthy adventure. I mean, it's a beat 'em up, so I don't know how long these games can be without getting too stale. I think it took me about 4 to 4.5 hours to beat it. That's because I had to replay the last 2 or so levels multiple times. It actually gets pretty damn hard, just on normal mode. And if you can see I've got 2 lives in the upper left corner. If those run out, then you have to start the level over again, which is kind of painful. I'm going to show some of the other abilities too. Spin kick. You can see that takes away a lot more mana than lightning, though. Use it right now. 2 of them done. But your mana or energy goes up slowly around, so you can't use it.
You fools! This is a rental!
This is a rental!
Retreat!
I love it. That is funny. And again, I mean, you just have to, if you don't like that kind of humor, just kind of goofy, and they really just play with it, the whole style and the era, you know, it's going to affect your enjoyment of the game. Oh! Let's see, what else can I show? 1-inch punch, maybe? I guess. Oh, you're too swift with that one. I just uppercut you instead. I mean, the actual combat's a lot of fun, just like brawlers are. And I think because of the shorter length, it doesn't really wear out its welcome too much. It even has a lot of the environmental traps. You can see that one right there. Step on the X and it flips dudes up. The original game had a lot of these kind of traps. Some of them get more frustrating than fun though, which is unfortunate. Especially in the later levels, they combine a lot of like spike hits and different conveyor belts and moving things. And I remember those from the original games, and those were equally frustrating back then. And I don't know if it's not designed too well to be, you know, necessarily a platformer. Thankfully, there's not too many of those situations. Most of these, yeah, you can see. Look at that, I even absorbed health from, like, just objects, too. Taking this side, or, sickle. Levels are pretty short, they're broken up usually no more than 10 or 15 minutes in a level. Which is good, because again, if you lose all your lives, you have to start a level over, so you don't want those to be too big. There are really no checkpoints to speak of. Let's show off a different one. Dragon Swarm is pretty cool looking. Here. This is the big one that takes like all your energy. Yep. Cleared all those guys out. Obobo returns to smack me around. Also, from the original game, it was just a bigger sprite. Just a big muscle guy. I think that's... No, that's just a mid-boss, maybe. Oh, no. Keep this thing around. Bonus money! You can actually purchase songs and upgrade your songs with the money and buy like extra lives and stuff. Although most of the shops are hidden in other levels. I love that little air guitar. So if there's two people, obviously the other brother is there doing the other solo. Alright, let's show off. This one is kind of fun. So that right there was like one level. I mean, that was, you know, probably less than 10 minutes. And there are 10 of those levels, although there's some like kind of in between sections, which are
now where
boss
did I
battles and
put
stuff.
that gun?
God, I love the soundtrack though. The soundtrack is amazing. Like it has, like each, you know, level has its own song. And then all those mixtapes have their own song too. You can just sit there on the inventory screen, listen to all those different songs. Oh. I think they do a great job. That kind of like 80s ballad. Whoops. Called him in there.
Why are they still alive? Blow them away!
Luckily, dropping into the pit just does damage instead of taking my life. This game's not terribly cool in that regard. Let's see, where am I at with abilities? How about the Bro-Dozer? Some of the abilities I like much better than those. That lightning one is pretty much my mainstay. Just because it can attack anybody from anywhere on the screen, and I don't have to aim it. Spin kick is probably the other one for when there's a bunch of people around. Ninja chicks with the I think each level produces on average about 1 new enemy type. And from that on, that enemy is present for the other levels, the later levels as well. Stupid killicopter. Blind spot. No, no. Because of the 3D nature of the game, it can be kind of hard to tell exactly where somebody is on like the Z plane, I guess. Especially if you're like right on people, you can sit there and punch and register. It just goes upside down. I love that. What do you mean we're out of missiles? So this is right here the ridiculousness of the game. Just does not take itself seriously at all, which I think is exactly the way you want to do this game. Definitely don't want to take this too seriously. We've got enough like serious reboots and stuff anyway. I think it's fun to just say, hey, this was, you know, an alright game back in the day. We're just gonna take it and relive that era. Realize it's campy, but also really fun. Like, it's not just making fun of it, it's kind of celebrating it too, which is kind of a tricky line to walk. Baseball bat. Oh. Time that works. No, I want to bat you. Bat you so hard. That thing will explode. Yep. Home run. It's even better sometimes when you hit somebody with a bat. He goes, touchdown. There he goes. It's the best. I mean, comedy's just hard. Like, it's pretty rare when a game can actually nail that. Oh, stay in the arrows. Luckily, enemies get hit by traps. See this move, the spin kick, is especially good with absorb, because that bounces the yeah, I don't even really try to dodge much. Especially against those guys. I pretty much just use the great. The fact that better offense is better than defense. Although, sure, when you get to the higher difficulties, you absolutely have to be dodging, which seems probably more frustrating than fun, but certainly on normal mode. Just to punch guys. Oh. Sorry, stay up. Everybody's just gonna get stabbed by arrows, yep. Some of those guys have to telegraph. 1, 2. Uh-oh. Protect me from the arrows. Boss.
Behold,
Yep.
Lee brothers, my least invincible creation, this giant tank.
This giant tank. It's an some
Good thing I
experimental
trained for
anti-tank.
this. Time to use my anti-tank technique.
Goodness, with anti-tank techniques.
Millions of dollars in R&D, and this is the best we can do?
Yep.
Idiots! Don't let them go near the glowing red weak
That's right.
point. Why does it even have a weak point?
Why does it even have a weak point? I don't know what else I'm gonna get. Look at that. I love the way like all the boss stuff glows. Oh, it's fantastic. It's so old school. Back here. It's so hard. Ooh. It's like a G.I. Joe toy. Whole thing.
We're running out of options. Bring back the helicopter.
The Killicopter.
You've been training for that.
To the glowing big spot. Just flies off the screen. Oh. Bless him. Good boss fight every time you damage him enough for his new mechanics of those. So much good. I leveled up my passive so much that normal stuff would be absolutely wrecking me, just not even doing that much damage. Which is cool, like you want that that feeling of actually making progress and being like things are getting trickier. Like you can actually make you guys stronger. Take that, giant tank. Upgrade my songs. Air solo. Yeah.
Imbecile! You are all as useless as you are dead! Wait, now's your chance to capture him. Take him to the lab. I'll make him a new brother.
Why didn't he just kill me when he had the chance? Oh man. You get taken to the lab. It is really fun. You know, the PC version doesn't really add too much. It's got some online multiplayer, but it doesn't have like a lobby system. It just kind of tries to match you with somebody who's also searching. So really, you kind of have to already have a friend that's playing the game, and you can find each other and invite using Steam. It also does have local co-op, since obviously you're just playing on the same screen together, which, you know, that was a huge advantage back in the day when you just had two controllers plugged up to an old console. But again, recommend having like two controllers, because the dude playing on keyboard is probably not going to have a good time, because it is just, you know, again, not necessarily the game's fault, but just not that fun playing these kind of games with a keyboard. You're just trying to mash the buttons and get all the attacks off. But yeah, just for recreating an old school beat 'em up, like, pretty damn cool. I love the tone they did with it. I think it's legitimately funny, which is not an easy thing to pull off. And you know, it's got some cool little collectibles. The fact that collectibles make you stronger is a really neat mechanic that I'm enjoying. It's a little on the short side, but you know, if you enjoy it and you can play it with a friend, I think it's definitely worth it. Even if you just play it solo, if you kind of are nostalgic for these kind of games, then I think it's enjoyable. And bare minimum, no matter what, check out the soundtrack, because I believe you can download it free from their website. There should be a link on there. Just go to search Double Dragon Neon. But it's amazing, really impressive soundtrack. Absolutely love the songs. So look for the review. Should be up pretty much by the time you watch this, if not very soon. Just putting the finishing touches on it now. And stay tuned to Leviathan's Twitch channel, Leviathan TV, as well as our YouTube channel for more awesome Chamber of Game videos. I am Eric Watson, the PC editor over at Leviathan, and thank you guys for stopping in and checking out Double Dragon Neon.